It's a brand new day, and I want to welcome everyone for joining me on today's episode of Morning Breakfast. Good morning. Today we'll consider an interesting topic captioned God Made Us Plain and Simple. And our Bible reference is coming from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 29. And it says, "This is all I have learned. God made us to be plain and simple, but we have made ourselves complicated." It will interest you to know that God never created an arrogant person, that God never created a stupid person, God never created a foolish person, God never created a womanizer, God never created any person to be a bad child, God never created any person not to amount to anything. The Bible says in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 31, when God created everything, he saw that everything he created was what? Beautiful. So you are a beautiful being. You are a wonderful person. The situations of life has made a lot of us to become complex, has made a lot of us to become complicated, has made a lot of us to become what we are not. And then you hear people say, "This is the way I am." No, this is not the way you are. This is the way the situation of the world has made you to be. The Bible says, "Do not conform yourself to the standards of the world," because when you conform yourself to the standard of the world instead of the standard of God, you become that arrogant person, you become that foolish person, you become that womanizer, you become that bad husband, you become that bad wife, you become that person who doesn't have a good plan about the future. God created us to be plain and simple. God created us to be wonderful beings. He created us in his own image and likeness, and we are the living likeness of God. So when situations, when trials, when temptation comes to make us to become what we are not, look to that situation and say, "I will not be what you want me to be. I will not be subjected to become what God did not create me to be, because God created me to be simple. God created me to be what? Plain. God created me to be a wonderful creature, to be a loving creature, not what the situation is turning me to be." A lot of situations, a lot of misfortunes has happened in our life and has made us to become what we are not. It is high time you speak to that situation and tell that situation, "You cannot turn me into what I am not. I represent God. I am the likeness of God, and I will remain the way God has created me to be." Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Morning Breakfast. I do hope you learned something. And the thing that you should learn, or you should have learned, is that God created us to be plain and simple. So the situations of this life can never make us to become that worthless individual that people see us to be. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Morning Breakfast. Do have a lovely day till I come your way.